everyone. Hi guys. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits and I'm here today on my birthday to celebrate and do a little bit of live spinning. So today is the first live stream of the Spin into Gold series. So we are going to spin, this is 100 grams, 200 grams of Stroll Roving into yarn for our sponsor, Marjorie. And I have a pretty fun plan of what to do with this yarn. My plan is to spin it as a gradient. So I think that first, maybe I'll start at the blue-purple end and travel all the way to kind of this coppery orange. And then in the next one, hi! So then in the next skein, I will maybe start with orange and then do orange, blue, and then pink. So then I can get a long asymmetric yarn, but there'll be some cool twists in the middle there. So I think that that would be pretty fun. So it won't quite be like this because I don't want the pinks to line up. But I guess if I was going to do a circle, maybe we'd do something like this. Aha. So kind of like, you know, kind of like that is like how it might line up in the end. But so I'll do singles of, good morning everybody, singles of one of these hanks onto one bobbin, and then I'll do the other one onto another bobbin. We'll see how far we get today, but I'll pop back on to do more of the spinning, maybe next week, if I can make it work. Oh yes, my sparkly rainbow dress. It's my birthday dress, so I thought that I would bring some, I was like, spin into gold. I need to be fancy. Yeah, the blue purple. What did I use? Royal blue and Wilton's violet. It just broke amazingly well. Ooh, to dye wool yarn with cosmetics? That I don't know. I'm not sure how, like, cause a lot of cosmetics there's something permanent, but not so permanent because you can wash it off. Because I think that if cosmetics would be more permanent, then like the 24-hour lipstick would last a lot longer. Because your lips and body are protein based, just like the wool. So that's why like food coloring will dye your skin for a while until like, you can get it to come off. So I'm not sure about cosmetics. Yeah, I'm glad. I was like, hey, this one might be a breakfast one. Usually I'm able to go live like in the, I'm starting at the wrong end. Usually I'm able to go live, when the kids are in school. And so sometimes I end up only getting my act together by like lunchtime. So that's why it happens a lot then. Plus the problem with that night is just that the light isn't anywhere near as good. So that's a reason why I do, maybe I'll put this one up there so we can see it, morning sessions. But I want to try to do an evening session with the series so that way someone who can't join during the day could potentially join live. But tonight we're going out for my birthday. Tomorrow is Star Wars. And then on Friday I'm going out for my birthday again. And then we have holiday parties on Saturday and Sunday. So an evening one might not come for a while, but I will try. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Okay, so this is Sandry. She is my Kromsky Fantasia spinning wheel. And you can see that it's really a small profile. It takes up just about as much space as a stool. So I really like this spinning wheel because it's easy to use and very beginner friendly. But now I need to decide, and I hadn't made this decision before you guys came on, but so I have 3 different whirls, which actually gives me 6 different speeds I could spin on. So I have my ultra fast one, which is 18 and 20. So what the whirls do is it means like, so with the fastest one, each time the wheel spins around, that will make the this twist 18 or 20 times if I use the small one. I think the ratios here are 1 to 5 and 1 to 8. And this might be 1 to 10 and 1 to 14. So maybe I'll use this intermediate one. I haven't yet purchased myself, which I might later today as a birthday present to myself, gotten the, oh, I think I did this upside down. There we go. So this is a Kromsky Fantasia. I have a link to it in the description. But the wheel, they have a jumbo bobbin and jumbo, so this is the flyer. This is the part that like spins around and twists and helps add the yarn to the bobbin. But you can get a bigger one of these because I always end up filling up my bobbin too much and really struggle at the end of plying to get the last bit to fit. So especially when I'm doing a gradient yarn, I really hope I'm not going to have to break it in the middle. That always makes me sad. Now, if you've watched any of my other live spin-alongs, you'll know I've had some issues with the break band. So I just replaced it with some twine, like hemp twine. All right. See. Oh dear. Where's my little hook? Here it is. Got attached to my roving. Technically I can get this started without it, but this little like hook guy, it's very important. I tend to keep it in, I have a WPI tool, which is wraps per inch, and I usually keep it in this bag. So that way, like, otherwise it could get lost in like this is my kit. My Notions kit bag. I like clear cosmetic bags. The 13th is a great birthday day for everyone. But yes, I love Sandry. And yes, that is a Tamora Pierce Circle of Magic reference. Who actually, Tamora Pierce's birthday is also December 13th. So fun fact, back when I was in middle school, she exchanged some emails with me and I had a fan site. I had a fan, like GeoCities webpage that she had linked to on her website for a while. And so that was, I made the website in a, like a HTML class, summer camp I did. All right. Let's see. It's my new, oh. I don't have enough tension yet. Let's see, is this gonna, oh yeah, I think that's gonna work great. What else did I need? Okay, so I think I'm on the like 1 to 10 ratio, and what I decided I was gonna start with the purple. You would like to dye wool, so how do I start? There's a lot of videos on this channel that would help. If you're interested in doing wool roving, this I dyed in the most recent episode of Dyepot Weekly. And there is a link to that at the bottom of the description. And so I like to use food coloring as my dye source. This is so soft. I've never spun the Stroll Roving before. So this is the same as the Stroll fingering yarn. It is 75% Superwash Merino and 25% Nylon. And just look at how like light and fluffy this is. But back to dyeing wool. You need protein-based fiber, obviously, the wool. You need food. I like to use food coloring. I mean, you can certainly use, there's many different dyes you can use, but right now I mostly use food coloring. These were Wilton's icing colors. And then you need some kind of acid, and people like to use usually either powdered citric acid or vinegar. So Kool-Aid drink mixes are actually a reasonable way to start. You guys, this is spinning so beautifully. It just is almost like spinning itself. So one of my favorite Five versus Spin is a BFL silk mix because there's like a really long staple length to the silk and it just kind of glides, but this is just so smooth. Oh, and pretty. Yeah, so, but there's a lot of dyeing videos on this channel. Oops, and I moved it so I cannot, so I have my laptop here so I can see the comments. Will I be dyeing self-striping yarn? At some point, yes. When I started, so I saw someone on Ravelry who got a crank I-cord maker, and then they used that to dye some self-striping yarn. And at first I wanted to try doing that with worsted weight wool, but it wouldn't fit in the I-cord maker that I bought. With that I-cord maker, you really needed fingering weight. And it's just taking a long time. I did a whole movie and I've got a lot of I-cord, but there's still a lot to go. So this is a technique that will absolutely work, but I think that just wrapping the yarn into skeins might be way more efficient. But yeah, I want to explore different ways besides dyeing sock blanks to dye self-striping yarn. Because I just filmed and I have to edit a striped sock blank that I hand painted, but those stripes aren't going to be quite the same as a self-striping yarn per se, just because the borders between the stripes will be a little more, like there's not going to be as clean a color change as there would if you did a bunch of you wound your big skein into a lot of little mini skeins. So, thank you, I'm glad. Polworth silk. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. So what weight yarn am I aiming for? I'm aiming for around a worsted weight or heavy worsted weight. I believe that this is going to turn into a hat at some point. And so, yeah, I want a good weight for a hat, but and this should be Superwash. I haven't ever like had a class or anything for spinning, so I watched a few videos, mostly self-taught. I was saying, I think in the comments the other day, that I don't know if I took my drop spindle back out, if I would remember how to use it. The drop spindle actually requires a lot more coordination than using the wheel. It's a lot easier to treadle and manage the twisting of the yarn than it is to have to do it all with your hands and stop and wind it. But if you're interested in spinning, a wheel costs a couple $100 unless you can find one to try out at like a trade show or yarn expo or something. But a drop spindle you can get for under $20. So if you wanted to see if you enjoy, and it's still very, very rhythmic. It's just, the first time I tried a wheel, I was intimidated and I was like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought. Did you miss anything? Not a lot, just chatting. Chatting as I spin. But yeah, so next week is going to be kind of like a great holiday present to all of you because the sock blank special is going to come out. And so basically, starting with the Dyepot Weekly episode on Tuesday, I'm then going to share basically a new sock blank dyeing video every day. And so I'm going to even go live. I think the first live stream for the sock blank special will be on Tuesday as well. And so I am really excited to do that. And so I've been dyeing and I have some editing to do, a bunch of different sock blanks. I've been doing random patterns. I've done, but the big issue right now is I don't get to unravel all of them myself, which is making me sad. I'm glad that some of my sponsors wanted me to send them in text blanks. I mean, ultimately it's less work for me. But some of these I'm like, I want to see what the yarn looks like. But the nice thing about sock blanks is that you can knit, you don't have to unravel them at all. You can knit directly from the sock blank. So if you wanted to knit 2 at a time socks or mittens, you could just knit from the dyed blank, and you wouldn't need to bother winding them into to skeins. Because when I wind them into skeins, since the yarn is crimped because it dried in a knit, it was effectively blocked, right? So I like to wet it again once I've skeined it, so that way it can dry a bit like less crimped. But I am beyond excited to share some of these videos. There'll be some sneak peeks coming out on the Instagram account. So, ooh. Have a wonderful day. I'm glad that some of you guys can catch this over breakfast, and it's evening in some places. Yeah, maybe sometime I should see a poll of when people would have the easiest time watching. Okay, so here is a little bit of a something or other. But that's a nice thing. I can just pull that out. Yeah, I need to go back and look at, I have a case in my knitting room of all of the yarns that I've spun but I haven't knit with. And I need to go back and take a peek at some of my earlier spun yarns to see how I've grown. Early on, I joined the Into the World Roving Club, and that was awesome because they have 2 levels that you can join. There's a luxury level, and then there's the standard level, but you get a luxury yarn, I think, once a year. But they do a different fiber base every month, and so that rotates. And so the club was amazing. Like, the colors are absolutely stunning. But also, in addition to that, I liked that it gave me some exposure to different fibers that otherwise, like, it would have been harder for me to go and pick some. So when we moved back to Massachusetts, I had to cancel my subscription. And, I mean, I still have a bunch that I haven't spun yet, but I miss getting that monthly package of Pretty, because it was always a nice surprise. Woohoo! Drop spindles. Those way to color. Sorry, your wheel broke. Yeah, I have some yarn tied around down here because there was some squeaking that oil didn't fix. I emailed Kromsky about something once, and I found that they were really helpful and responsive. But when the wheel arrived, I built it myself. It came in a bunch of pieces, and so I had to, screw it together and stuff. And, I mean, I can build, IKEA furniture, some of the metal IKEA things are a little hard to do. I can build, some furniture, but I was very, very nervous about building the wheel. But she's beautiful, and she works beautiful. Someone asked me yesterday if everyone names their spinning wheel. And I have no idea if everyone names their spinning wheel or if it's just me. But, I mean, we've also named our car, and, yeah. So, our car's name is Lady, after Lady and the Tramp. And so, I guess, yesterday, Keith decided that the other car, therefore, that in general we don't like quite as much, but the other car is the Tramp. Oh man, well, I can imagine that Sweden would be way darker than it gets, but when the sun starts setting at 4 p.m. here, which is nothing like for everybody that's further north, but it's hard. So I'm lucky in that in theory I could walk to pick my kids up from school, because either there's like a path through some woods that connects my neighborhood to where to the parking lot of their school. But on Wednesdays I pick the kids up. I have to pick them up by 4:30, and it's just hard because it gets dark and it's not like there are lights in the woods. And so I tried once and Lucas freaked out a little bit on me. And rightly so. I mean, I didn't really want to be in the woods past dark either. But oh, you guys, I don't know what subscription or what resolution I'm watching on. I wish, or actually, I wonder if, yeah, I guess that didn't do anything. I wish that I kind of want to get a new webcam. Right now I use my phone for most of my streams, but I'd like to get a webcam so that way I could like easily zoom in. I wouldn't easily be able to switch back and forth between different feeds unless I had like someone helping. But it would be nice if I could like say zoom in for a while, so then I could show you guys just how awesome this yarn looks. Although actually, this is what I can do. I want to give you guys a better view. Well, I can't really see, but see I don't know if the purples are coming up, and I'm moving a lot, but this yarn is just really, really cool. Wahoo! Okay, I was able to do that. The Logitech HD wide angle. Yeah, okay, because I struggle to like get myself in frame and the spinning in frame. And so I'm trying to be like high up today, because if I try to go straight on, I have to pull back so far or else you cut off my head. And so I tried to see if I could set up my DSLR to the computer to use it through like a interface with YouTube, but that the camera, I don't have software that let me do that, so I was annoyed by that. But yeah, I've been eyeing that Logitech camera, and I maybe should take the plunge. But yeah, it would be nice to have also have something that's easier to plug into a power source while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's so pretty. You restore wheels. Oh, they name themselves and then you can't sell them? Oh, that would be hard. I honestly haven't ever tried any other wheel. We went to, oh gosh, I know, maybe it was like Midwest Fiber and Folk Fair in Illinois. And, you know, there was a vendor and I sat down, and there's pictures, I think, on either the blog or the channel, because Keith snapped some, and I just started spinning, and I was like, this is it. This is the one I want. This is the one I love. Yeah, the getting a good angle for the stove is also hard. You guys see me, well, also the way my kitchen is laid out doesn't necessarily make it any easier, but you guys will see me like leaning over the burners so that way I can get in frame. Because I want you guys to have a good view of the stove. But yeah, so next Tuesday, I believe, is when I'm going to come on to do dye a sock blank live, and I'm going to dip dye that twice. My plan is to dip dye it in one color, let it cool off a bit so I can touch it, and then dip dye it into another color. I tried dip dyeing a red yesterday, hoping to get like a dark red to a lighter red, but it really came out kind of very subtle. I think I used way too much dye. But yeah, so I'm hoping to not overload it too much. And oh gosh, so for one of the sock blanks, I mixed a bunch of dye. And I mean, so for when I'm dip dyeing Wilton's Violet, I like to use a half of a teaspoon of violet to do 100 grams of yarn. Well, I mixed 5 colors and I probably used at least between 2 and 3, maybe around 2 total teaspoons of dye. And then I used these like needle nose squeeze bottles to do it. And I was shocked at how much dye I had left over. Enough that I had to like space dye an extra skein of yarn because I was like, I can't throw this out. 3 nameless wheels. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, I have some friends that foster dogs and that foster cats, and that can be hard. Actually, I have an acquaintance who fosters pregnant cats and then the kittens, and so that's pretty hard. Then at some point you have to say bye-bye. We're allergic, otherwise we might have a cat. But we have our dog, who is very, very good when it comes to yarn and fiber. And he learned pretty early on, he would lay down next to my blocking mats when I would be blocking lace. But somehow he knew that, like, this is important, I cannot step on it. And that was hilarious. I mean, I think he might have run over it once and then never again. But the reason why I haven't been doing as much spinning lately is that I can't really leave the wheel. Like with Lucas, I could leave the wheel out. With Ryder, that would be a bit harder. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I should see if there's like, I'm sure there's some kind of local guild or something so that I could go and play with another wheel. I mean, I love the look of classic, the classic ones, but you just can't be like, so my house is a slab, and so we have just right over there a closet with our water heater and stuff in it. And there's not a lot of extra floor space in there, but the wheel just fits perfectly because you can even get like a carrying bag for this. I think a lot of people use these as like their, I'm going to bring this places with me type wheel. It's just like so light and airy. I mean, it's dry because it's winter, and I like the Wool of the Andes roving that I get from Knit Picks. But this is just, whew. And I don't think it's that much more expensive either. But, oh yeah! So the December special at Knit Picks, the sale of the month yarn, is bare yarn. Only individual skeins, so it doesn't stack with the bulk yarn. But this roving is 20% off right now. So, yeah, and my affiliate link, Knit Picks affiliate links are in the description. And you do not need to use my links to get any of the sales that I talk about ever. It's just using them gives me credit for the sale. But it's funny because I think I've mentioned this, but I only became an affiliate I think in October, but I've been using their yarns and promoting them for years. So it's interesting now. I need to go through and update a lot of the links that I have on my website. All right, we're almost ready for our color transition. afghan, yeah. Where is, oh, it must be, we have a chair that's sometimes right there that we just moved out of the room for right now. I was like, where is my afghan? But, all right, so now for this color transition section, kind of got these blue and pinks that that'll get a little mixed up, which is good and fine. There might end up being with the twists because of, you know, oh gosh, there are people that like, so, you know, I can spin a yarn that's knittable and that's beautiful. There are people that can like spin, design self-striping yarns, and it's just incredible. Like I could make a self-striping yarn, just the stripes wouldn't necessarily be regular, and I don't think I could make it 2 or 3 ply very easily. Ugh, I love getting twists. I love it. This is why, like, I thought that I was going to I wanted there to be some variation, but I thought that my colors were going to be pretty solid. But I always forget how quickly when I'm hand painting the color strikes to the Stroll yarn and how hard it is to massage it through. But this is just absolutely spectacular. I'm glad that I have more of this fiber in my stash for me to spin and play with. No, I have not done a fractal spin. I have a really cool book that has a lot of different cool spinning techniques and stuff in it, but I've only tried one. I think it's a chain. They call it a chain or something. I did S singles, Z, a Z 2-ply, and then an S, I 2-plied the 2-ply. And so that was fun, but that's the first like tricky one I've done. The book, I think I have The Joy of Hand Spinning. I'd have to double check in my library. Whatever it is, I have, I've talked about every single book in my library on the blog at some point. To give like my thoughts and little reviews. But I just liked that it had like all these suggestions and examples of different types of yarn, and like I got some 100% silk thread in one of my orders with the intent to use it, and I'm gonna first try spinning it with just a single ply yarn, a commercial single ply yarn. But my plan is to then dye this and see how like the silk versus the wool takes up color differently. And then maybe I'll try dyeing silk thread before applying it sometime. I don't know. I've got some thoughts on playing around with that, but I'll share when I try these things. I'll share some of the spinning. That's a cabled yarn. Yeah, I think that it might be a cabled yarn. Yeah, I like chain plying a lot, just because. So chain plying is also end plying, and I've done, I think I've shown that a couple times here on the channel. It's basically like creating a really, really gappy crochet chain out of the singles that you spun, and you get a pseudo 3-ply yarn. But this is especially nice when you want to do a gradient, because then like you don't have to worry about like having your plies match up. But we'll see how. The plan for today is a 2-ply. Yeah, these colors are just twisting around each other so beautifully. And yeah, I wish I could zoom it. See, it's like a fluffy cloud. You got wool with your spinning wheel. Can you spin it by itself? Versus Yeah, I mean, you don't need to, I mean, is the question, do you need to diet or anything first? You absolutely don't need to diet. Oh, what was that? There's like a red notification on my phone, but I don't know what it was. Whoops, that was a little bit of over twist. I don't know if my feed was cutting out. I didn't see like a notification from YouTube, but I don't know what this notification off the top of my screen was. Yeah, so there's a video on here when I was dyeing roving for when I first got my spinning wheel. And actually, I got the spinning wheel for my 29th birthday. Aw, Sandra, you're 5 years old! So it showed up on my doorstep like 2 days before my birthday or something. And I was so excited. But I literally ran to my local yarn store to see if I could find some roving. And they had some like little pieces that was nothing like super exciting. So I was like, okay, I gotta dye my own. But I have to wait for it to dry. And yeah, that was but I was like squealing in the video. Yeah. I did not take any spinning classes. I mean, so at the fiber fair, the person told me how to do it. So my journey into spinning was very similar to my journey into crochet. I bought a drop spindle and it came with some wool. And I tried spinning with it, and I think that I didn't draft enough because I got some yarn, but it was like really thick and like this was really hard and I couldn't figure it out. So it went into my closet for a couple years and then I pulled it back out and I was like, I wonder if I could like give this another shot, because since I'd been dyeing more and more yarn, a next logical step was to dye roving and then spin the yarn. And so I then watched, at that point, within those couple years, there were a lot more YouTube videos available to help. And so then I watched a couple of videos that helped me understand more than the pamphlet that had come with the drop spindle. And so then I started researching wheels and decided that, if I'm using the drop spindle and spinning a lot, then it could be reasonable to ask for a spinning wheel. And so I think I put it on my Christmas list to my in-laws one year as like a, kind of like a reach. I usually have one thing on there that's like a reach, like, like my, this is my dream lens in case like, I don't know if everyone decides to go in on it or something. But so when this showed up, I was just floored. So it was a beautiful, beautiful gift from them. And I mean, Keith gets a lot of credit too, because he was like, Rebecca really, really wants a spinning wheel. But yeah, so when I got this, I mean, I've looked up, so I have the book, I think The Joy of Hand Spinning, which I've used for some ideas on things that I could try. But I don't remember if I watched videos from like Kromsky on this wheel near the beginning. But yeah, most of what I do is just kind of going for it. And when I watch like these people that can spin thread, my technique is not there. And I'm sure like I can't really do a long draft. I find that this short like shuffle that I do works for me. I mean, I can spin thinner than I am right now. This is probably, I don't know, DK or so singles. But yeah, it's so relaxing. And before I started filming more of this, I would, watch Actually, Survivor, which I haven't seen the most recent season. Survivor is one of my favorite knitting and spinning shows because it lasts a while and you can look away and unless it's during a challenge, and that's fine. Do I ever watch other dyeing videos on YouTube? Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I do. Like especially before I did the dyeing with paint, I watched a video and someone did that, and the dyeing the acrylic yarn with acrylic paint, and my response was, really? But I'd gotten some questions about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this because maybe I'll be surprised and it works better than I think. But I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily worth doing. But yeah, so sometimes if there's a really good video that I think the American Chemical Society put out, which I've been meaning to share, where someone was doing some natural dyeing from a school in, I don't know if it's like LA or Berkeley, I forget exactly where, and that was really cool. I did do a natural dyeing class once. I was on Mackinac Island and the art center had like a let's dye a silk scarf thing, and so that was really cool. The instructor brought some of the plant material that she had harvested herself and taught us a little bit about it, so that was fun. Yes, my kids are at school right now. The preschool starts, so Lucas is 4 and Ryder is almost 2, and the school starts at now I guess it starts at 15 months, but with Lucas it started at 18 months. And I'm glad that they're both able, they go 3 days a week, which means once Ryder started this fall, that's when I was able to really start ramping up videos and live streams and stuff, because before it was just hard. It was hard to have the time and space to film without also dyeing my children. But Lucas has made an appearance in some of the videos. And in some, he doesn't really make an official appearance, but sometimes he'll be there when I'm washing the yarn. I'm like, okay, you can watch, but you have to be very quiet. And he's like, okay, mommy. Sometimes he's a silent contributor, some videos, but Ryder would not be able to do that yet. But I did get some special bottles that I think I might, I'd have to try to do it with just Ryder. If I had tried to do both kids in a video, I think that would be chaotic. And I'm definitely not going to have Lucas in a live stream. But he likes doing art projects with mommy. That's what he wrote on my birthday card. He likes doing projects. He likes when we do movie dinners. But yeah, I like to do a lot of art projects with them. I'm not getting, we slipped. That would be why. It was like I'm not getting the uptake. But it's looking a little blown out. I realized yesterday. While I was thinking about the streams that at noon the sun is just streaming in here, and so that would be pretty hard. But you guys, it almost levitates. I mean, not quite clearly. There's gravity, but this fiber is so light. I also have I bought some of the Knit Picks Merino and Silk Roving, which I haven't tried dyeing yet. The only silk that I've dyed so far are some silk hankies, which are also really fun to spin with. Actually, that I watched a video on. So, thinking back to videos of stuff I've watched. I watched a video on that too, because I didn't understand how you spin from these square thin pieces of silk. But I tried it, and it's actually pretty strong. So, but what I was surprised is that the silk didn't take up, like, I added a lot of color when I was dyeing the silk, but it didn't get nearly as bright as I thought. I think that it can take up a lot more color, maybe, than the wool. But I now have some more silk blend yarns that I plan to dye and see, because some people have sent me some pictures where a silk alpaca wool blend took up dye extremely differently than just a wool yarn. So I'm excited to explore with these more. Oh, again, nice and all right. I need some water. Oh, but you can't see the. So I have a rainbow unicorn balloon right there that my boys bought me. I mean, I requested it, but Keith helped them find it, and they had to go to 2 stores because the first was out of the rainbow unicorns. But the balloon desire came before I found my sparkly, which I almost thought that roving would get stuck on it, but it's not sequined, it's like fake. It's like a foil printed onto the dress in like a rainbow type pattern. So, eek. But yeah, I find spinning just to be very relaxing. I mean, I don't always get dressed up when I'm spinning, but it is my birthday, so. And actually I get amused by, lately I've started adding more whimsy to my wardrobe, and it amuses me. So. But yeah, I can't believe, like, I had so many things I wanted to knit for the holidays for people, and there's even like a hat for my youngest that I've shown on some live streams that, like, I don't think I just haven't had time. Haven't had time to get those done, unfortunately. But yeah, I can't believe the end of the year is like so close, which for me means I'm going to Disney World. So we're going with my parents and my brother, and so that'll be really, really fun. But there'll still be some videos scheduled while I'm gone, so you won't have a week without some videos. And with the holidays and everything, all these videos that are going to come out next week, there'll be some that you can save up, or, you know, if you need a break from family, like, oh, I have to go do something. So, yes, this is a LuLaRoe Amelia dress. It's one of their elegant, one of the elegant collection ones. It's one of my favorite dresses because I guess for my body type, my weight is more around my midsection, but a lot of times I have trouble finding things with arms that fit. Arms are usually way too big for me when I get things that accommodate the rest of my body. So I like this dress a lot because it fits. It's stretchy, so it's really, really comfortable, but then it's very flattering on me. So, yeah. I was very excited when this arrived just in time for my birthday. But I might have this dress and I have a Maleficent one that, well, I've been planning out my Disney outfits, and I don't really have ears, so I've been making my own ears, and I don't really have ears that go with the Maleficent dress. So I think I might wear, and I know, store-bought ears with that dress, but I haven't decided when I'm going to wear it. Got a little too much twist there. Because it doesn't make sense to wear aerial ears with a Maleficent dress? I don't know. Uh, yeah, clearly I'm thinking about this a bit too much, but I made some like shirts for us, and it'll be fun. We haven't done something like this that's like a vacation versus like visiting family or going to a wedding in a long time. So I'm excited. But I do need to plan out a knitting project to bring for the hotel room. And I'll still be able to like chat on Facebook and stuff some. So I'm not going to be disappearing entirely. Don't want to leave you guys hanging. This is just so soft. I love it. So I can't believe I didn't buy more roving. So Knit Picks, like last week, had their $20 off a $100 purchase gain or purchase flash sale, and I was like, fine, you guys, I'll put in another order. I think that it'll be magical. We're gonna have to push naps for our youngest, but hopefully that'll be okay. And I think one of the things that's been the most fun was sharing all of these movies with the kids. And even if a movie might be a little scary for the 4-year-old, he really likes the characters. Like, he thinks Belle is really awesome. We love Moana and Frozen, I think, are the two, and Cars. But I don't think that they have any of the Cars characters at Disney World, so I was like, he's like, oh, we'll see. And Lucas also thinks we might see Daniel Tiger there, which I'm like, well, different company, dear. So, woohoo, we're almost through. Oh, we'll save this for my transition section. Almost through the pink. Yeah, but someone was telling me about how they spun a sweater's worth of yarn, and that's just incredible. Oh, someone, and I don't know if you're on, someone asked me about dyeing a sweater's worth of yarn. And I gave some thoughts on how to do that, but they requested a video, and so I think that I might see if there's a way to get someone who would be interested in sponsoring that video, because the problem, or collaborating on it, because the problem with dyeing a sweater's worth of yarn and seeing like, oh, how did our dye lots come out for making like an even sweater? The problem with doing that is that I'd have to, it's problematic if I'm not planning to knit the sweater. So yeah, we'll see if anyone. Oh, you want to see a here's a close-up. Close-up of our yarn. Which, yeah, the colors feel a little muted. No worries. I hadn't zoomed in a while. I will, of course, share. Oh, I should have taken a picture before the purple went bye-bye. Yeah, so I have to, I guess I can remember that I started with the purple. Oh, my pleasure. Because maybe the next time I'll do orange, blue, and then pink. Maybe that should be my plan. Yeah. So pretty. I'm not filming the spinning today to do a time lapse. On one of the last times I was spinning, someone requested that, and that was fun. But I've been, oh gosh, the horror. Yesterday I was doing some hand painting, and then I look over and it was like filming has stopped automatically. I was like, oh no, because I filled up the memory card. But thankfully, I don't think I lost too much, because I think that all the actual dyeing was still present. So, phew! All right, so I officially give this roving 5 stars. I find the wool of the Andes roving, I mean, I really like it. It spins nicely, but it doesn't quite have this silkiness that this nylon blend has. Okay, we're gearing up to start doing a bit of a transition. Let's get these. Whoop. Start with more and then less. Yeah, it's just so airy. The wool of the Andes roving is very soft, and I like spinning and knitting with it. Actually, one of my favorites was when they had the full circle roving, but that was a limited special edition yarn, and so that doesn't exist anymore. But I really enjoyed, and I still have some of that. I like that because it came in natural colors that weren't like cream. So I really like over dyeing pale grays a lot. But yeah, I forget when Knit Pick started offering their own roving. It was around when I got my wheel. Or actually, well, I don't know when they started offering it entirely, but I don't think they had it when I first discovered them. A long, long time ago. Oh gosh. When did I start ChemKnits? I forget if it was New Year's weekend in 2000. It may have been in 2008. So we're coming up on approaching my 10-year anniversary. I mean, I've been knitting since I was 10 years old, but I started the blog because everyone was skiing and I was bored. That's the short version, and then the longer version is that I was looking for I was looking for ear flap hat knitting patterns, and I made this list of like links and descriptions for myself because Pinterest didn't exist. If Pinterest existed, then I probably wouldn't. If Pinterest and Ravelry existed when I started out, I don't think I would have started ChemKnits, because I started it to keep in like notes on projects I was knitting, and then I made this list of these ear flap hat knitting patterns, and I was like, when I was searching for these, I was like, I wish there was just a list of these somewhere that I could find, versus having to like search all these different keywords. And so I made the list and I shared it, and the rest is history. All right, now here is the orange that we're transitioning into. Yes. I recommend doing something similar. So if I was going to hand dye a yarn for a sweater, it would be like, yes, absolutely alternate yarn every couple rows. And so when I dyed for my Denise shawl, that's exactly what I did. But I think the main reason there I was alternating was actually that I wanted the gradient to last a bit longer. But when you don't have consistent dye lots, absolutely. Alternating yarns every couple rows can totally help. But I did the most I've ever dyed in one go was 400 grams of yarn, and to make a hood for my son. And I did not alternate yarns in rows, and I found the colors to be pretty consistent. There was, because it was, kettle dyed, there was some difference with, there wasn't exactly pooling, but there was a difference in how the colors, like micro striping kind of stuff looked. But I think that was mostly, that's mostly due to the fact that I was knitting in the round and then knitting fewer stitches back and forth. So it was a change in the way that I was knitting versus a change from like the skeins of yarn. But so that ended up being pretty consistent. But the amount of hours that go into a sweater. Yeah, I have, and well, I wanted to do it this year, but clearly that didn't happen. I wanted to knit and design some matching, like, not ugly, but pretty, like Christmas vests for my husband and kids, but I just need to get designing it. There's one that, the Snowy Penguin set, I did that when Lucas was just about a year old. And then Ryder was able to wear it last year, but they didn't get a sweater this year. And so I feel bad. Aww, thank you. Yeah, I haven't done any like knitting club things, so I haven't done any live knitting before, but I normally, I have some projects that I can knit and chat with, but not a lot. Yeah, some of my first videos I did because I was like, oh, I don't think that there's a good video for this. I'll make one and share it. And then for a while I collaborated with a knitting website to make some videos, which was cool. But then they wanted, like the agreement was non-exclusive. So like I could share the video and they could share the video as well. But then they wanted to change and have exclusive access to the video, and I couldn't decide how much I would want per video, because some of these videos that I've done, they make some money like going forward. So I wasn't sure that I was interested in giving exclusive rights to my videos to someone. But yeah, and then I don't know when I realized that not every, like there were some, I wouldn't do like variations of the dyeing videos, but then I realized that people like that it's fun to, even if it's something similar to what I've done before, it's fun to share and see because of the questions that I get, and you guys have just inspired me a lot, and so I am very, very grateful for all of your support. And I like hanging out with you guys when I spin. It's kind of fun. Oh, you guys, that's what I could do. If I get a webcam, well, I'd have to see if I could figure out how to set up my phone to it too. But I could do like picture in picture. So I could have like me, I don't know what that notification was. I could have me like little, like this little in the corner, and then like ooh, the quality got bad. Maybe that's what that red flash meant. Ugh, sorry guys. Yeah, did the things, okay, things look better now. Yeah, so I have OBS, but the only camera I had for that, the one time I tried using it, was the like built-in camera on my laptop, and I did not like the quality from that. And so then I tested the phone, and I liked that a lot better. But I wonder if OBS, I could set it up to use both my phone and a webcam or if I would need to do something else. So I'll have to look into that, because then I could do like a close-up of like from, you know, my hands to the bobbin. So you could see that and then just see like little Rebecca. Oh, let's move this down. Do you use your phone, Little Bean? Ah. Yeah, because also getting the laptop set up at like an angle is a little hard, but let's give you guys a little close up. Yeah, what method of spinning am I using? I don't know. And so this is one of the reasons why I haven't really done like a how to spin thing, because since I'm self-taught, a lot of the terminology and stuff isn't quite there. This is I know I'm doing a short draft. And yeah, I kind of, just like sometimes when I'm dyeing yarn, I like go in, or hand painting yarn, I go in with a plan and then it kind of evolves as I'm there, because I see the color do something and that inspires me and I keep going. A lot of times I let when I'm spinning, oops, and I've rotated my wheel, I let the spinning kind of speak for itself. And I let it's like, speak to me, and then, yeah. The Rebecca method. Yeah. No, I'm sure like there's a better word for it. I tried like a long draft, but I just didn't feel like the twist went through it very well. But I also was probably trying to spin a chunkier yarn at the time. So yeah, and if I miss any questions and stuff, I apologize. Normally, I see like when I'm doing dyeing, I see like on my phone the comments pop up, but they only stay briefly. So here this is why I have the laptop there, so I can like try to see comments. I probably need glasses, but technically I have glasses, but my prescription's really, really old. I know. I'd love to go to like, you know, a meeting or something where a bunch of people are spinning and just look and learn. And so I never mind when people give tips and suggestions, because, well, not only does that inspire new dyeing videos and stuff, but it also is just helpful in general. I really wish, and I know if I was using OBS, I could make the comments pop up on the video itself, which most of the time would be awesome. Occasionally would not be so great. But sometimes I copy and paste them into like a document after the fact. But you guys are amazing. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do, I'll need to like sit and plan out my schedule. I think today I will probably stop once I finish these singles. Wait, what's Nightbot? For yeah, it doesn't bother me when there's bad stuff. It's just distracting, or mildly distracting. But that's the one reason why I wouldn't want stuff to pop up on the video in perpetuity. But yeah, you guys are a lot of fun. And so I enjoy doing these live streams. But yeah, I'm always open for suggestions for what to do on other streams. So it's a bot that you can... Oh, okay. See, it's like the more you know. I get some of the best, like, seriously, you guys give like really good advice and suggestions. But, all right, I've been eyeing that Logitech webcam, and I have to figure out what else I want to be a 2017 expense. And so that might be a good one. But just like, for Christmas last year, I got a external flash for my DSLR, and I've only played with it a couple times, but it's so fun. But I know, I was just thinking of toys that I've been meaning to learn how to use properly that I've only done a little bit with. Your brother, yeah, my brother streams on Twitch too. So I guess I've seen that in his streams a little bit, but I'll ask him. Our audiences are usually a little different, so actually I should be like, yo, Jay, why aren't you watching my live stream? If he was watching then, but I don't think that he usually chimes in. Now, someone told me that they know a bunch of like knitters and stuff that use Twitch. YouTube now has. Do I use a drop spindle? I have one. I haven't used it for a while, and I'm thinking about doing a live stream where I bring that out of retirement and see if I can remember how to do it, to do a little bit of spinning. So yeah, that's something that I think would be a lot of fun to do sometime soon. But I know that YouTube has started offering, because you know how on Twitch you can subscribe to someone's channel to like contribute versus like using Patreon or something, and YouTube is starting to make that available, but just for gamers on YouTube, it's not available for everyone yet. And so I mean, I have no reason, like, because I have all of you guys here to like switch to really want to switch to Twitch or something. It's just, I didn't know if you guys knew. You okay, Sandry? Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, I didn't know if that was like an untapped base that I should like try and see. Because I thought it was mostly just gaming. So is Nightbot, do you use Nightbot through OBS, or how do you... I'll look into it and see about YouTube. Should have been available for crafty and artistic. I know, but really I think YouTube is trying to like draw gamers from Twitch. So presumably I get access to a lot of of their features on the earlier side. I do think that I will set up a Patreon account once I have fulfilled all of the Kickstarter rewards. I don't really feel right asking for more financial support from all of you before I've fulfilled the last ones. But I've now filmed, and well, I will upload right after I'm done. I've now filmed 20 episodes of Dyepot Weekly. And I'm in the process of most of the Stock Blank special, and so then you know, I just have, I'm making good progress for these sponsored videos. So I am happy that this is going well. And then, ta-da! And let's see. Okay, so I have a little bit of fiber stuck to my dress, but not as much as I thought. I think I was, like, if it was sequin, then the stuff would have caught, but that didn't happen. Except I have some in my mouth. What do I use for editing software? I'm like trying to look. I'll have to check. I used to use, I use VideoPad video editor. I bought the open, like the full version. I think it was $50. I used to use, because I had a free version of the Adobe, I forget what they called their video editing software. And I didn't use a lot of the features of it, so I didn't need something that powerful. But I have not yet, I still on that computer since I have the software version of Photoshop on there. It's the only reason I still use my old laptop, because I'm like, each time, as long as I use that, I don't pay $10 a month to have Photoshop on this computer. But the computer can't really handle a lot of the editing anymore. So, like I can't do even just like a magnetic selection easily. And so because sometimes in group pictures I like to swap heads and merge pictures so everyone can look good. But so eventually I'll get Photoshop on here and then, but anyway, yeah, what did I say it was called? The VideoPad, yeah, VideoPad video editor. And so I like that pretty well. I tried for the Kickstarter video, the free version of their sound editing software. I wish that you could do more with sound to like remove background noise in the video software, but I could do, it's very user-friendly to edit the clips and stuff. But anyway, here is a close-up of our orange. And so, if you tuned in late, this is what I just spun. I started at the blue, then went through the pink and the orange, and spun this as a gradient. Into just singles, I was doing, oh no, did I freeze? Uh-oh. Did I freeze or did it just stop? Did I pause? Oh no, I must have paused. I must have paused myself on the laptop. Okay, we're good. So I did the gradient, and so the next time, what did I think I say I would do? I would do maybe orange, blue, pink, I think might be the way that I do it, so that way when I ply them, the yarn will still be a gradient, but two colors will be kind of plied together the whole time, so it'll be like a really cool twist. And then I think it'll turn into a lovely, lovely hat. I'm still here! Not for too much longer, but yeah, I need to see if there's any questions I missed. But yeah, it's like this is the pretty. Yeah, it's kind of like if I didn't already have a thumbnail for this video or something, then I would like pick, would probably pick a shot like this to be the thumbnail. But anyway, I'm so glad, because I don't know if you guys watched one of the last spinning videos when I had it was like a silicone break band, and it snapped, and it was awful. It was digging in, and so I just took some like hemp that I got from like the labels that I use on my yarn, but I don't use the hemp, I use ribbon instead. And so, yes, this is done a great job as a break band. I didn't have any of the struggles I'd been having. So, hooray, hooray. Funny, yeah. Because the problem is that sometimes I want to add a custom thumbnail, but then I have to reduce the size of the image And so I sometimes then don't always bother and then realize like, oh, I should update the thumbnail for that video. And so that's, okay, stop. You're done. You can rest. You can rest, my love. Those are the best. Posing for a thumbnail. Oh gosh, I know at the beginning I'm like, all right, what? All right. So it's like, do I like this? Well, because it also gives you like a little area of the camera, so you think that you're in good, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, I need to lean back. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. I imagine that I'm trying to decide. I think that maybe I'll spin the other half of this live and try to figure out a good time to schedule a live stream, or I might not be able to schedule it too far in advance. I might just have to pop on when it'll work. But yeah, I guess the debate is between whether or not I'm able to do it Friday sometime during the day, or if I try to do an evening session. Is there a way to add an emoji? Oh, I don't know. What about my... Ooh, that would be fun. My favorite thing to do with variegated yarns is to do color work with black yarn. It kind of looks like stained glass, and I just absolutely love it. Yeah, these are really fun, and thank you, Marjorie, for having Lucas pick it out and for sponsoring these live streams and the dyeing video, and I know that this yarn is going to be fantastic. So yeah, probably there'll be about 2 more videos for the spinning series at some point. But if I usually give notice on Instagram and Facebook when I'm going to go live. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And if you're going to go see Star Wars tomorrow, have a wonderful time. I am beyond excited. Oh, I should watch The Force Awakens tonight to get ready. Yeah, all right. That's my birthday. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this live stream. And don't worry, I won't give any spoilers. I promise. I absolutely promise. Yeah, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.